As an elementary school principal, I get asked all the time about how best to prepare our students, our children, for their future. Given how fast the world is changing, there is more uncertainty about our future now than perhaps any other time in our history. I find this question about preparing our children for their future is both exciting and frightening all at the same time. Exciting because as an educator, I consider one of my most important jobs to be that of a resume builder, to create skills and experiences that are needed to ready them for their future. Frightening because most of us don't know much about the future, and it's challenging, therefore, to identify the kinds of skills and competencies that will be needed in that future to survive and thrive in the future. I think if there was a Waze app, a GPS, that could identify skills needed for the future, which show a lot of traffic or popularity around science and technology and engineering, etc. I don't think it would show what I call a lid mindset as part of a necessary skill to ready our kids for the future. It's my contention that understanding the lids of our life's journey is as critical a life skill and as needed now more than ever in schools, with the same status as any other academic discipline. In listening some time ago to the popular Pharrell Williams song entitled Happy, I was perplexed by this lyric, clap, as if you feel like a room without a roof. This led me to thinking about the glass ceiling ideology, barriers to advancement. This in turn led me to learning more about fleas. Yes, you heard me correctly, fleas. You may know fleas as these little pesky bugs that get within the fur of animals, namely dogs. But in and around the 1950s, researchers began to study the jumping habits of fleas. During the first experiment, the scientists placed fleas in a jar and observed their behaviors. The jar contained no lid and the fleas jumped down. In the next experiment, the scientists placed a lid on the jar and observed that the fleas would jump, hit the lid or the ceiling of the jar, and bounce back down. In a third experiment, the scientists placed a lid on the jar but left it there for a week. When they took the lid off, an amazing thing happened. The fleas would only jump as high as the lid, even though there was no lid. The fleas became conditioned to only jumping as high as the lid would allow them to. When the lid was taken away, they didn't know any better. They have come to develop or adopt a belief system that the lid was there when it wasn't. The lid became their limit. I believe in many ways, despite our best intentions or grand desires for the futures of our children, we create lids for kids. And in some circumstances, when we realize we have created a lid and take it away, our children jump only so high as if the lid was there. We, despite removing our lids, have conditioned their lives, the lives of our children, and have limited their dreams, their potentials. They continue to live with limits despite the absence of a lid. My contention is that we need to teach a lid mindset with the same status as all other disciplines, as this is most critical now than ever before in our history. If we are to realize the fullness of our human capacity, that is, the capacity of our children for their future, we need this lid mindset now more than ever before, most especially in this age of amazement. Thank you.